Who likes to keep an extra buck or two here and there? It all adds up. Let's talk about some quick tips. Many of them came from you, the viewer. Back in a minute. Hey, good morning, good morning. This is Jan from New York City. I love helping people to keep some more of their own hard earned money. Could that be you? Hopefully so. Hope that this audio video, as always, finds everybody doing well. Some of the greatest tips that I read are from you. Well, you know what? About, I don't know, maybe it was about 8 or 9 months back, I did a series of quick tips and I got some really, really good comments. I always get really good comments and great ideas. But some of them really stick out a little bit more than, let's say, maybe another comment. And this has to do specifically with quick tips at the grocery store. There are also a few quick tips more from myself. So I'll mix them all up and let's talk about it. Let's say right now. Now, this one is tried and true because I've tried it and it truly works. Do not go food shopping hungry because when you go to the grocery store, it is set up in such a manner with the smells and the arrangements and the music to make you want to shop more, to make you want to stay there longer, to perhaps entice you to hang out more at the grocery store. Many grocery stores have those little nooks where you can grab a coffee and grab a quick snack. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. But if you are on a mission to keep some more of your own hard earned money to do other things with, so instead of spending, let's say, $8 in that little nook, take a little snack with you. You could just get a grab and go type of bar, that you have at home in a box in your cupboard, or have a mozzarella stick, those stringy ones. You could carry them with you before you even get inside of the grocery store from your car and have a little bit of water or something just to tide you over until you get your shopping done. I'm just saying, does it help? Yeah. Let's say $8 was saved. And if you have a second person with you, it could be $15 saved. That $15, you could go out and buy yourself some other better ingredients for better meals and stretch your money even further. Just saying. All right. Now, sometimes when you shop online, many times actually, some people feel a better sense of control of their prices. Why? Because they see the numbers in front of them growing. Let's say that a person has a $150 grocery allotment for the month. They don't want to surpass that. They are looking at the numbers. That's why many times people will suggest, all the channels in the frugal community suggest, take a little calculator with you. And in case you don't know, most phones have a little calculator built into it. And more than likely, you're carrying that little phone. And that way you could tally it up while you're at the grocery store and figure out, are you working within the parameters of the budget that you want to work with? Instead of just randomly letting numbers go here, there, and everywhere, and then you get sticker shock at the cash register. No. Like I always say, there are some surprises I mind, and there are some surprises I don't mind. But sticker shock at the register is a surprise I don't like sometimes. All right, let's get back into the kitchen. We'll go back to the grocery store tips in a minute. Back in the old days, I don't know if you remember this, but one of my commenters reminded me of something from my childhood. Remember those cute little toaster covers or toaster oven covers? They usually were of plastic, or you could get them, material made, and you would cover your appliance so you didn't have to look at the small appliance all day long on your counter. Because let's face it, 99% of the time, the appliance is just sitting there, and 1% of the day you're using the appliance. Does that make sense? So, not that it's simple to find those plastic covers anymore, at least around here it's not. But who's to stop someone with reasonable amount of creativity, some pretty fabric that you might be able to get on sale that matches your kitchen or could brighten it up with a pop of color and go back to that old fashioned methodology. This is a really cheap and inexpensive way to brighten your kitchen and to cover up the appearance of certain small appliances, not to mention to make your kitchen look a little more uniquely your own. Sort of like a customizable little bit addition of decorating. I think it's great. Next, let's get back to inventory of stockpile, which is related to the grocery store. All right, keep a master list of non food items. This is where a lot of people get tripped up because we do focus a lot on food groceries. But by keeping a master list of non food items, let's say like shampoo or trash bags or office supplies or over the counter medicine like aspirin or things of that nature, you keep that list, and once a month, go through, look around. Is something running extremely low? Are you totally okay with what you have left? Then you don't have to make a duplicate purchase unless you wish to, and you're getting something for a great price. That makes sense. Keep a checklist of where you are at in that inventory. Why is that important? It's important because one, you first of all, to be aware of. Next reason is because you could reallocate that money that you thought you needed for that thing and you don't to something else. Put it into something else. That is the whole purpose of keeping track, in my honest opinion, not to mention efficiency. All right, next, now, when it comes to food shopping, now this came from a viewer. This was a comment from a viewer. It's not written in exactitude. I took important points from the comment and I rephrased it into my own way. But the idea is this came from directly a viewer. And God bless every single one of you. Just saying, just saying. And thank you for being here. So this person indicated when it comes to food shopping, shop your pantry, refrigerator, and freezer first. Now, at first you might think, well, yeah, duh, we should do that. But upon rethinking, I said to myself, you know something, I bet a lot of people really don't do that. They really don't do that. First, they run to the either their computer or run physically to the grocery store, thinking mindlessly, without even looking at what they have, and that could be a mistake, and it could be a costly mistake. Not only in the money that you're spending, but what about the time? What about the gas? What about the effort and the energy when actually you didn't have to do it because you already had the thing or the things? Just saying. So what this person does, and I recommend it, I agree with it, and pretty much that's what I do anyway myself. I shop my own refrigerator. I shop my own stockpile, my own pantry, and my freezer first. I'm not going to run to the store without shopping and utilizing what I have. And what this person suggests is to plan a rough draft of meals ahead of time for the following week, for example. Plan the meals around with what you already have existing in your pantry, in your freezer, and in your stockpile. Work with what you have first. Actually, this is a very welcoming tip, especially when funds are growing low and you don't have that much. You have like a long stretch of time before you get your next paycheck. So plan a rough draft of meals with what you already have on hand. All right, next, fill in the gaps with what is on sale and of produce that is in season. So work around the sales. Don't buy out of season produce. Out of season produce costs more money. I mean, when I was a kid, and all right, I know it's back in the dinosaur days, but I remember, for example, my mother being able to get, let's say, sweet potatoes and yams only this is in New York, and this was in, let's say, early 1960s. I do recall this. My mother always being able to get yams, sweet potatoes, the fresh stuff in, let's say, October, November. And then after Christmas, good luck. You didn't see them till next season. That's the way it worked back in the old days. Back in the old days, people bought an abundance of apples during apple season. Now people are buying apples in July when it's really out of season. And even apples can cost more. Just saying, just saying. So keep in touch with that. Strawberry season, my mother couldn't wait for strawberry season during the warmer months for the better prices. And she also loved her fresh asparagus during the springtime. Okay, so these are things that we would look forward to seasonally for the best prices. Now they're available all year, but some of the prices, ay, 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 ay. Just saying, just saying. All right, next, don't be such a fuss budget. Use generic items whenever possible. Some of the things that we think are like brand X, for example, are really the same item under a different label. Keep that in mind. Sometimes brand X might taste better to you than the store brand, for example, might taste better to you than the brand that we're all used to the packaging. We have become addicted to packaging and to labeling. We have to expand our minds and expand our taste buds. Many, many times it's the exact same product. Just saying, just saying. All right. Another thing, if you go physically to the grocery store, be sure to try to go as early as possible when the store is less crowded. This way, you could stay focused on the list that you brought with you. Later on in the day, certain specials, well, that may not be so special, but sounds like a special and you're going to get a good deal. Not necessarily. Not necessarily. Just because you hear the bells and whistles and bright colors doesn't always mean that it is a bargain for you or for your needs or for your family. Stick to your list, stay focused, and the best way to do that is bright and early in the morning when there's less people distracting you from your in store shopping. Hey, I want to take a minute to thank you, great viewers, for your amazing comments and helpful hints, tips, and tricks. Have an amazing, but there is something I would really appreciate that you guys would do. Hang on. Have an amazing, fantastic day. Take good care of yourselves and each other.